How's it going, guys? Rob here, and I'm back with a brand new top 10 video. Once again, doing a response to Chucky doll. He did his top 10 best sequels. And this was kind of a hard one. It was harder than doing the worst sequels because there are a lot of fantastic sequels out there. And obviously I couldn't name them all. But I do have some honorable mentions that did not make my list. My list is pretty straightforward. But, yeah, that's what I want to do right now is talk about the honorable mentions. First up is Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. I think that movie, I think it is superior to the first film. And to me, Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite Spider-Man movie, standalone movie. Whether, you know, beating out the Andrew Garfield ones or even the Tom Holland ones, they just do not compare to Spider-Man 2. It's just so well done, and I love Dr. Octopus as the villain. So very, very well done. The next one is Dark Knight. Yes, The Dark Knight did not make my list. And to be honest, you know, Batman Begins is my favorite of the trilogy, the Nolan trilogy, and I know a lot of people are like, what? But yeah, Batman Begins is my favorite. Dark Knight is very well done. It did not make my list because the other ones I love more, but very, very good movie. You got Batman Returns, which, you know, I love the first Batman more, but Batman Returns is an excellent sequel. It's way better than, you know, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, of course. But Batman Returns. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, great sequel. Definitely my favorite out of all of them. Blade Runner 2049, which is a sequel that kind of blew me away. Like, when I saw it in the theater, visually it was stunning. I'm like, this is a masterpiece. This movie's awesome. And wow, Jared Leto, he's awesome. Like, finally, you know, as the Joker, he sucked, but now we get him as kind of a villain in that movie in Blade Runner. I'm like, wow, he's really good. But yeah, like Harrison Ford's character, I liked him even more than I did in Force Awakens, returning as Han. There was just something about Blade Runner that it was so well paced with the music, and it just felt like Blade Runner. So, next up is Child's Play 2, which would have made my list if it wasn't for the others. Child's Play 2, in my opinion, is one of the greatest horror sequels ever. And especially when it comes to Child's Play, the Chucky movies, Child's Play 2 is just unbeatable. I still don't think they could ever beat it. Child's Play 3 is pretty close. There are haters for Child's Play 3, and I do not understand it at all. I love Child's Play 3. But anyway, Child's Play 2, excellent. So, those are just some that I wanted to mention. Now we're going to get on to my top 10, starting with number 10. And this movie would be higher on my list if it wasn't for the others. Jaws 2 comes in at number 10. A sequel that no one ever talks about. It's either part 3 being like a guilty pleasure, or part 4 sucking, or the first one is a masterpiece. But no one talks about Jaws 2. I mean, Chief Brody going up against another shark. And again, he takes it out. I love it. You know, he saves a bunch of kids who are stranded on their boats, and he goes out to save them. I loved it. Everything about it. You know, deals with his family again and shark attacks. It's really, really good. So it's a sequel that I think more people should see that haven't. Number 9 is Superman 2. Superman 2 for me is better than the first Superman movie, even though I love that one too. But, you know, Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, I can't really tell which one I like better. I think I might like the theatrical better than the Richard Donner, but there are things about the Richard Donner that I do like a little bit more. But Superman 2, to me, felt like a fleshed out Superman movie. Like, we got to learn more about his, you know, Superman himself, and I love Zod and his gang. Like, I love them. So it was really, really good. Number 8 is Return of the Jedi. My favorite Star Wars sequel. You know, a lot of people say Empire Strikes Back. I totally get it. I love Empire Strikes Back. I love all 3 of the originals, but Return of the Jedi for me has everything. I love the confrontation between Luke and Vader, and then Luke and the Emperor, I even like the Ewoks. I don't even care about the Ewoks. A lot of people bitch and complain about the Ewoks. You know what? I'd rather see them than the stupid Gungans. I'm sorry. Gungans. They did absolutely nothing. But anyway, yeah, Return of the Jedi has it all for me. I just love the movie. So that's number 8. Coming in at number 7 is Halloween 2. The original Halloween 2, 1981. I love the whole hospital setting. I love that Jamie Lee Curtis came back and Michael's stalking her once again. I love the kills and the fact that he's just walking so slow in that hospital. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if he's on camera or he's walking down a hallway and someone sees him. He doesn't care. He's walking around with this little bitty, itty-bitty scalpel thing. He doesn't care. Great movie. Number 6 is Back to the Future 2. And that's probably the movie I've seen the most out of the Back to the Future movies. Part 3 was one that I'd always give, negative reviews to because I didn't really care for the Wild West setting back then. But now I actually love that movie and actually consider Back to the Future to be a perfect trilogy. But Part 2 is so cool. It continues, it starts off where the last one ended. It's like Marty never gets a break. It's like he just got back. He switched, the timeline a little bit, fixed his family, and then Doc shows up. And then they go in the DeLorean to the future now. Now we get to see the future, which is really, really awesome. The flying cars was always a really cool thing when I was younger, seeing the flying cars. I'm like, man, I want one of those. I want one of those flying cars. Just a really cool story. I really dig what they tried to do, with the whole almanac thing, how Biff basically changed the timeline by, stealing the almanac and stuff. Like, just fantastic. Great movie. Number 5 is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Now, what's funny about Temple of Doom is the movie didn't come out until after Lost Ark. But timeline-wise, the movie comes before Raiders. So, it goes by chapters, and Temple of Doom is actually the first chapter. But the movie didn't come out until after Raiders. So, it's a little bit it's kind of a weird thing, but I'm just going to list it here as a sequel because it came out after Raiders. So, yeah, I love Temple of Doom. It's the darkest of all the Indiana Jones films. And there are people out there that actually consider Crystal Skull over Temple of Doom. I honestly don't get it. Your opinion's your opinion. I'm trying to understand. Temple of Doom is so good. It is so good. Great characters. Everyone hates Kate Capshaw. They think that she's like annoying and stuff. Like, I thought she was fine. A damsel in distress is nothing new. I mean, Indiana Jones needs to be the hero. And Willie, Kate Capshaw her character kind of changes in the third act. She actually becomes stronger, more strong-willed. She actually fights back and stuff. But that didn't bother me. I don't know why it bothered so many people. All right, number 4 is Aliens. Directed by James Cameron. And again, we have Sigourney Weaver who comes back and fighting off the aliens. This time there's more than one alien, and you got this crew who are, taking them out. Just a great action horror film and a fantastic sequel. To me, it's like Aliens is like a Terminator 2. It's like the first movie was kind of like horror-based. You could even say that the first Terminator is like a slasher film. But then you get to Terminator 2, which is more like sci-fi-ish action. You have 2 Terminators this time going against each other. And so there's a lot more action. It feels like a Terminator movie, but it doesn't feel as dark as the first Terminator. That's how I feel about Aliens. It's like Aliens, to me, doesn't feel as dark as the first Alien did. The first Alien had that atmosphere and setting, the scariness of the one alien going around. This one, it just felt like there's a bunch of aliens, but I didn't feel that same horror atmosphere as I did in the first movie. Even though Aliens, like I said, fantastic sequel. Number 3 is Terminator 2. Judgment Day. One of the best sequels ever made. And again, I love the first Terminator. The first Terminator is my favorite. Terminator 2 is a great sequel. I love everything about it. Robert Patrick as the T-1000. All the character moments, some of the one-liners that Arnold says. Just the effects. The effects were so good when the T-1000 would do stuff. What's wrong with Woofy? I can hear him barking. Woofy's fine, honey. Woofy's just fine. Where are you? Your foster parents are dead. Yeah, fantastic movie. Terminator 2. Coming in at number 2 is Dawn of the Dead. The original Dawn of the Dead, which is the sequel to Night of the Living Dead. Dawn of the Dead is hands down my favorite zombie film. I've said it time and time again that movie is so well paced. I love the mall setting. I love the fact that these characters who are so different, they kind of find common ground and live up in the mall, and they have to be careful of zombies, but at the same time, they have to be careful of looters, like people who are going around stealing stuff, and like biker gangs and things like that. It's not just the zombies, but I love how they try to close the mall off, like they barricade the front doors with these trucks and block them so no one can get in there. And then they go in the mall and clear the whole mall out because there's zombies inside the mall. They lock the doors, shoot all the zombies inside, pile them up, and then they got the whole mall to themselves. Like, I always thought, when I first saw this movie, I'm like, what would it be like to go to be in a mall all by yourself, or maybe with some people, and you have the whole place to yourself to do whatever you want. You don't have to worry about going into a store to pay for anything. You just take it off the racks or whatever. What would that be like? That would be, I mean, it would be amazing. That huge place, you could do whatever you want. I love that. It's just amazing. So Dawn of the Dead comes in at number 2, and I think you can guess what my number 1 is. It's the same as Julie's, Rocky 2. It's without a doubt Rocky 2. Rocky 2 is one of those sequels, again, that I think is kind of flying under the radar. Not many people talk about Rocky 2. They talk about how Rocky 1 is such a masterpiece, and it is. It is. Rocky 3 with Mr. T, where Mickey dies, kind of a pivotal moment in the series. Rocky 4 being the best. A lot of people say that Rocky 4 is the best, and I get it. Rocky 5 being the worst. Rocky Balboa being a good comeback and a very sad movie. But you don't hear about Rocky 2. What I love about Rocky 2 is redemption. The character gets redemption for what he tried to do in the first movie, what he tried to accomplish. He tries to do more this time. He tries to go for the belt, even though at first he didn't want to. There's so much stuff in this movie that they tried to fit a lot in. I mean, the fact that Rocky gets married, they move to a new house, they get a new car, Adrian's pregnant, she, you know, when she has the baby, she drifts into a coma. She doesn't want Rocky to fight. Apollo is making fun of Rocky, trying to get him to fight in a rematch, even though he said there ain't going to be no rematch. Hey, Apollo, you give me your best? Yeah. You get that chump in the ring right now. Anyway. Rocky has a lot on his plate in this movie. I mean, even they're hurting for money because he can't do commercials. So what does he do? He tries to get a manual labor job. He ends up getting cut from that. He's trying really hard to work, but then he knows that he has to fight. He has to fight because that's what he's good at. That's how he's going to make his money to support his family. To me, this has one of the greatest training moments, the montages. I get chills every time when he's in the junkyard or when he's like doing the one-handed push-ups. When she's like, I want you to do something for me. And he's like, what? And she's like, when? What are we waiting for? Like, That part right there, and you hear the bells. Ding, 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 ding. That's all I want to do when I hear that. I want to start punching stuff. Better not do that here. She's going to be mad at me. Anyway, Rocky 2, great sequel. I freaking love it. Okay? And that's not really saying much because I love all the Rocky movies. Even, yes, even Part 5. A lot of people would probably say, why wasn't Part 5, why wasn't Rocky 5 in your worst list? Because I don't think it's a bad movie. Is it the weakest of the Rocky films? Yes. But I don't think it's a bad movie at all. I never will admit that. I will never say that. So, anyway, that is my top 10 best sequels. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, go check out, Julie Cassidy and Chucky Doll with their videos. If you want to do a response, please do. I'd love to hear your, top 10 best sequels and even your top 10 worst sequels. So, I'll be back with more. Stupid fly! Every time I try to close out the video, there's a fly. Use my hand. I'm not going to get up and get the fly swatter. You're getting my hand, bitch. Anyway, I'll be back with more top 10 videos coming up. I have a lot, like I told you before, as well as some movie reviews and things like that I'm working on. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for everyone for, stopping by my channel, taking the time to watch, subscribing, leaving comments and all that stuff. So I really appreciate it. This is Rob signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.